Mary Simon has received many honors for her leadership in developing strategies for Aboriginal and Northern affairs. She has been awarded the Order of Canada, National Order of Quebec, the Gold Order of Greenland, the National Aboriginal Achievement Award, and the Gold Medal of the Royal Canadian Geographical Society. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, c'est avec plaisir que je vous présente Madame Mary Simon.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow Canadians. Si vous voulez nous plutôt hakai na pel mayunga ino hatika amisuwala palang matatakane ikhanay da hatkalo malo hawi mayaka nakumihai gunagapsi. First, I just want to acknowledge my fellow Inuit here. Some people that I work with and also colleagues of mine. I'm very pleased that you are here today with me, and I'm very pleased to be here to speak to all of you and welcome your questions later. That is always the most interesting part of a talk, I think, when I get the questions and I get to answer the way I think the question should be answered. Before I start, I just want to acknowledge Sheila Wapluche. As we all know, she has recently been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and although she didn't win it, we feel very proud that she was nominated as a fellow. Thank you, Sheila, for your leadership. I would also like to thank First Air, Bob Davis, for sponsoring my cross-Canada tour. We are very pleased that you're able to do that for us, Bob. Thank you very much. And I also want to acknowledge one person here, Scott Searson, who I think has been one of our strongest advocates in Canada for Aboriginal peoples. Thank you, Scott. Also, this may not seem the right thing to do, but I simply have to do it because behind one person there's always other people. And those other people are here in the room. Not all of them, but a lot of them are here. And they are the ones that help me do my work. So I want to thank the ITK team for the strong work that they do for Inuit of Canada. As you heard in the very kind introduction, I'm the president of ITK, or better known as ITK. It's the Inuit Tatawi Kanadami, which is the national voice of the Inuit of Canada. In English, Inuit Tatawi Kanadami means Inuit are united in Canada. Today I'm going to be talking to you about many of the issues that are confronting our people in the North, and I'm going to be talking to you about what you as Canadians can do to assist us in dealing with these important issues. Inuit live in 4 regions in the Arctic. The Inuit region in the north. Oh, I forgot to mention that we do have some visuals that will show some of the issues that I'm talking about. The Inuit region in the Northwest Territories, Nunavut, Canada's newest territory, Nunavik, which is northern Quebec, and Nunatsiavut, which is northern Labrador. ITK addresses issues of vital importance at the national level for the preservation and promotion of Inuit identity, culture, and way of life in Canada. Like I said, I am speaking to you for a very specific reason today. The Arctic is in urgent need of attention by all Canadians, and indeed by the world community. My job is to convince you of this urgency. As leader of the National Inuit Organization, I am determined to generate public interest and galvanize political attention on Arctic issues. Yesterday, I participated in an online discussion hosted by the Globe and Mail. I was very encouraged by the questions I received from Canadians across the country. They were well informed and generally very supportive of a more comprehensive strategy for keeping the Arctic in Canada and involving Inuit and other Northerners. In speaking of the Arctic, I do not intend to look backwards at past mistakes, but rather to explore new approaches to the challenges Inuit face today. There are three key messages that I would like to give you today. My presentation to you is built around these messages. The first is that the Arctic is a region of Canada whose time has come. Sovereignty, environmental, economic development, and social policy factors all support this conclusion. The second is that sovereignty begins at home. Canada cannot successfully assert its national agenda in the Arctic while ignoring the state of civil society in the Arctic. Third is that the key to sustainable Arctic policies and creative policy making in Canada is establishing a constructive partnership with Inuit. I would like to explain why I believe this and why you, as Canadians, should too. First, let's look at some background information to provide context for my messages. There are approximately 55,000 Inuit living in Canada, spread from Labrador in the east to the Northwest Territories in the west. The Arctic is 1/3 of Canada's landmass, with 50% of Canada's shoreline. Inuit are the vast majority of the permanent population in Arctic communities, with the exception of Inuvik and Iqaluit. Inuit are also becoming more numerous in some southern cities such as Ottawa, Montreal, and Edmonton, as well as other cities. The Arctic is our homeland. We call it Inuit Nunat. We have occupied this vast territory for thousands of years. We have developed a culture and language deeply rooted in our physical surroundings. The Arctic defines who we are. In turn, our presence and way of life help define the Arctic. We are as strongly Canadian as we are Inuit. We pay the same taxes as other Canadians. We carry Canadian passports. We follow hockey standings as closely as everyone else and are very proud of young Jordan Tutu's achievements in the NHL. There are 53 Inuit communities ranging from population of more than 1,000 to as small as 200. Unlike many First Nations communities, Inuit do not live on reserves. We have chosen municipal status within our respective territories and provinces. With few exceptions, there are no road connections to the rest of Canada. Transportation is by air and sea. While jet travel shrinks these distances, Inuit communities are still isolated from the rest of Canada. The cost of living would stagger you. I can fly economy at least twice from Ottawa to Hong Kong for the same price as flying from Ottawa to Pond Inlet. Essential foods and commodities are also expensive. A litre of milk in Nain, Labrador costs $5.99. Country foods continue to be a very important part of our culture and daily lives. Hunting, however, has become very expensive. A litre of gas can cost close to to $2 in northern communities. Tens of thousands of dollars are required to properly equip a hunter. Other incomes are shared in order to support a hunter within a family. Despite the barriers of geographic distances, the Arctic is now connected by modern communications to the rest of the world and Canada, to the rest of Canada and the world.